Hey everybody, and welcome to my channel. Welcome back if you are a returning viewer. So if you guys would like to see how I installed this 22-inch purple highlights from Megalook hair and how you can achieve a bust down side part and some slayed ass edges, stay tuned because yeah, this is going to be a long video, so I hope you're ready. We're getting straight into it. Hey y'all. I know I said in my last video that like my edges was like going and like my hairline was receding, but I think I was just tweaking because my braids were so old. But I got some new braids and I'm feeling better and it's looking better, so I think I was really tweaking. Anyways, the bald cap is on now, stretched her on out, and now I'm taking my scissors to cut around my ears. And yeah, so we can have a perfectly laid bald cap. We have to do this first and foremost. So I have this Ebon Wonder Lace spray. This is for sensitive skin and it's extra strong hold, I believe. I seen this at the hair store. I said, oh, let me get this because sensitive skin, I definitely have that. So I got a little mini version of it to try it out. And I really liked how this laid down my cap. It didn't give me any issues and it wasn't too different from using the red can. I guess it was just less harsh. But yeah, you guys, I'm spraying that all around my bald cap. And smoothing that out with my fingers to keep it in place, and then I'm going to blow dry that on a cool high setting until it is completely, y'all hear them cars? OMG. But I'm touching my fingers around it to make sure that it is dry before I actually end it and start cutting off the cap like I'm doing now. So I cut directly in the middle and then I choose a side to just glide that, not lace, this is not lace, y'all. Glide this cap right on off as I'm doing here, and then I'm going to do it on the next side as well. So that the cap isn't just hanging in the back, I like to cut it directly in the middle and take those two pieces and just tie it in a not too tight because it will give you a headache. Do not tie it too tight, okay? Just tie it slightly to where it's in place, and then I cut off the excess cap after that. And I got me some new Ruby Kisses cream foundation. I got level 13 and 14 because I'm like level 15, like it works, but in the light it does kind of look light and I don't like that. Like I want it to really give scalp and like my skin, so that's the 15 that I usually use. And I honestly, y'all, I should have like remembered what exactly color I used, but it was in between the 13 and the 14. I'm not sure, but both of them were like good matches. And you guys kind of like see the cast on my cap. I did not like that at all. So to avoid that, I recommend just using the Ebon Wonder Lace spray on your bald cap right in front of your edges and not directly on them. Like don't spray it too far back. Have some control because yeah, the cast like takes away from the true color of the makeup on the lace. And yeah, we don't want that. We do not want that. But I'm taking my not Ruby Kisses, y'all. Oh my gosh, Erica J Hold Me Down glue and my popsicle stick, and I'm using that around the edges of my cap to just hold it down a little bit better so it can look a little bit more seamless. And I also went in with some Acifra rubbing alcohol to cleanse my skin for any extra oils or the makeup that was left over from the cap, so that when we do adhere the glue to our skin for the lace, it won't interfere with it and it can lay perfectly flat and seamless. But right here, right now, we have this wig on, and as you can see, it's big as fuck. Like, I don't know why these companies' wigs be big, or I don't know if my head is just super small or what, but this wig was like extra large. Jeez, but I'm using my scissors to cut around the ear tabs, and I had to go in and cut quite a bit off. So like the hairline was just throwing me off a little bit because it was just so much that I didn't use, you know, like it looked a little wonky, but it's okay. We finessed it and it looked good. So after I cut that off, that's what it's looking like. And I'm like, like it's giving Neanderthal forehead, and I'm not with that. So I took some of the hair in the front and parted that out, and I'm going to take some more here to give it like a perfect, you know what I'm saying, make it look good. And we're just going to rip those right off because that's going to look a lot better. So I'm just ripping. You don't have to like be scared to do this. Like, it's okay. Just rip those hairs off straight like that. And we're good. Like, the hairline looks a lot better once all of that is done. So then I'm going to push the wig back and we're going to get into actually gluing this wig on. So I'm using my Air Kit Hold Me Down glue like how I did before, and I'm using a thin amount. It's recommended to use a thin amount because when you use a lot, it just doesn't dry clear. Like, it'll be gunky and clumpy, and you want it to be seamless. You want it to just lay flat. So make sure to use a thin amount. But yeah, you guys, I'm using my popsicle stick and I'm smoothing this out. I'm trying to keep it directly in front of my cap, not too far up and not too close to the cap. You feel me? Like, we want it to be a little bit forward, but not too much to the point where the forehead or my forehead is going to be like given small, because I don't like that. I really don't like. But by all means, if you like your forehead to look small, you know, push that glue up as far as you'd like. But my personal preference, I like to keep my hairline looking pretty natural and as if, you know, like my forehead is still intact. So after I have that all smoothed out, I'm going to blow dry this on a cool high setting until it is dry and tacky. Being really precise with this, touching it along the way when I see that it's kind of getting clear to make sure that it's tacky. But this is my fourth layer. I did 4 layers total, and this is the 4th last one, and I'm just doing the same exact process, gliding that right along the cap and then smoothing that out in front of the cap, not too far up and not too far back. Okay, so yeah, the perfect recipe, smoothing that all out. I will say I do push the glue a little bit further up than like on the sides in like the middle of my head, because my forehead is kind of big, I'm not gonna lie. And I do like it to not look super big with the plucking, because, you know, like with the plucking, it's going to make its own type of hairline type vibe. And if I pluck it and I put my wig right where my forehead would be, it just looks weird. So I do push it up a little bit further at the front. I do that, I will admit. But you guys can see where that glue is clear. And yeah, since it's clear and dry, it's time to put this wig on. So I'm stretching this lace out, and I'm stretching it a lot because this wig was big. So I'm trying to make sure it doesn't ripple in the front or anywhere. So I'm really trying my best to stretch it out. And usually I'll put the wig on all at once, but since this lace was super big, I did one side at a time. So after that side was complete, I went over to this one, stretched it out the same way. Oh my gosh, I hope y'all don't mind my stuttering, but it's something that I kind of can't help. Like, I do have a stuttering problem. Like, if y'all really hear me in my videos, I stutter quite a bit, and it's like, I'm not going to keep editing my video to not stutter. Like, I just gonna have to take the realness of it. Like, I stutter. But yeah, now that the wig is on and I pushed that lace into my skin, I'm taking this fine tooth comb and my blow dryer on a cool high setting, and I'm just pushing that lace further into my skin. And I'm being pretty aggressive with this because, like I said, this wig was big, and if you don't do that, like, you're going to get some rippling, and we do not want ripples like that. I mean, I got ripples regardless. Like, the wig is still on my head 2 days later, and yeah, it's definitely rippling in the front. But with a fresh install, to avoid that, you definitely want to stretch everything out. Like y'all just seen, I stretched out the lace at the end, and I also stretched out the band. But yeah, while this band is on for about 10 minutes exactly, I'm taking my comb and I'm making my part. I'm making my deep side part. And as you guys can see, I don't do it in just all one take. I really like play with it to see what kind of part that I want and how to perfect it. So that's what I do, and that's what I'm doing here. Side note, I feel like if I didn't talk so fast in these voiceovers, I definitely wouldn't stutter as much, but I gotta talk fast. Like, we're moving fast. Like, this moves fast. If I was to talk as slow as I actually do when I do talk slow, we would be here for 35 minutes, and I don't know if y'all want that. So anyways, I am taking each section, I'm parting out sections, and I'm using my Care wax stick and my hot comb to flatten out this hair so it can be super seamless, okay? Like, we love a flat install. So we're going to take extra steps to make sure it is flat. So yeah, guys, I'm taking sections and I'm just hot combing each one through. And this is in real time, you guys. So I'm actually like going this speed. I use it slow sometimes, and I also like don't use it slow. But for the most part, if you want it to be really flat, you want to go slow with it, okay? To really get that product in. Boom. Y'all see that? Really get that product in. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing here. And yeah. And I'm repeating the same thing on the side where the part is, not where the part is, but where the part isn't, like where the hair is going to be falling. So yeah, this isn't like where I started it, but this is where I'm showing y'all where I started it, because I definitely did go like section by section by section by section. So yeah, I'm kind of almost done with it. So I'm showing you guys that I'm almost done with it. And yeah, this is how you're gonna get your wig flat. Like, you have to go in section by section. If you want your wig to be super flat, like you see hairstylists be doing their clients, you really need to make sure to go section by section. Okay, do y'all see that? Y'all see that? And you can just like imagine touching it how I am. Like, it felt so good. Like, it felt so flat. But now that this band is off and the wig is looking so flat, I thought I wanted to use my scissors to cut off the lace, but I said psych, and I grabbed my razor, my OG way of doing things. And yeah, I'm just cutting off the extra lace. I didn't go too much in like a zigzag motion. I kind of just like lifted the razor upwards and cut. Well, not on this part because it's my sideburns and I have to like switch it and flip it around. But yeah, as you guys can see here, I'm not really doing too much of a zigzag how I usually say I would do, because after using the scissors on my lace the last install, it kind of just showed me that it really doesn't have to be zigzag as long as it's getting a good cut. So yeah, I'm cutting some extra lace off on this side, as you guys can see, because it just wasn't necessary for it to be there, and I just want it to look perfect. So yeah, bro, I literally said section so many times. That was so uncalled for. Anyways, I'm taking that glue and I'm using just a tiny bit in the bottom of the razor to smooth that out, because using a popsicle stick is just too big, like when you're trying to lay down the small pieces of the lace. So I'll just use the bottom of that. So I take my blow dryer on a coil high setting and I blow dry that, and it doesn't take long to blow dry because it is just a tiny little piece that we're doing, and I just stick that down with my fingers. And there's also some pieces sticking up on this side too, so I repeated the same process over here. It was some pieces on this side that I didn't really like just hanging. Like, I didn't like how it looked, so I took my scissors and I cut that off. And then I'm taking my Ruby Kisses cream foundation. I swear, I really am so sorry that I don't know which shade that I used, but it was between the 13 and the 14. And I'm using this makeup brush to just glide that makeup on this lace to get it more blended with my skin, give it, you know, skin for real. But I'm taking some more of that Ebon Wonder lace spray, the sensitive skin one that I used prior to, and I'm using just a little bit of that, not taking too much, and I'm dabbing that around the lace, not too much like on the hairline, but on the lace, and then in front of the lace on my skin too, so it can look really seamless like it's my scalp. So yeah, doing that, patting that through. And pro tip, what you want to do, which shout out to Ebony, basically you want to let that sit there until it gets a little bit dried down for like 30 seconds before actually putting the band on. Now that I have my band on, I'm gonna let that sit for like 10 minutes, and I'm going to finish flat ironing my hair. I did flat iron my hair on my mannequin head because with straight hair it just makes sense to me to flat iron it on a mannequin head, so I can get it like track by track and it can be super silky. And I leave the frontal part parted out, and I don't mess with that until it's actually on my head. So that's what I'm doing here, just just flat ironing these pieces out so it can be all the way finished. And once that's done, now it's time for these baby hairs. I didn't edit too much of this out, which is why this video is like 26 minutes long, because I really wanted you guys to see like the full process of me doing my baby hairs. Because yeah, don't be all rainbows and like flowers and shit and like sunshine. Like I'll be not struggling, but it's really a process. Like it's more than just pulling the baby hairs out and swooping them. Like I'll be like, it's really an art. So I don't want to talk too much while I do this. I want you guys to just watch this, and then I'll pop back in and say some things if I need to. But yeah, you guys, this is where I really be concentrated the most, because like the baby hairs are really like the most important part, you feel me? And I did these really dramatic because I was just feeling, I haven't done my wig in like 3 weeks, and I was just feeling extra like I wanted dramatic baby hairs this time. So that's what we did, and that's what we're going to get into. Okay, so yeah, I'm just parting them out right now and then hot combing them through so that they can get extremely flat, okay, and silky when we lay them down. So I'm plucking some of these hairs out, and I'm plucking it in places where it's already, you can see spaces in between the hairs, just to give it a more natural effect, because they are going to be dramatic, and I don't want them to look bulky and dramatic, like in a bad way, like in a nasty way. I still want them to look, you know, clean and not like they're doing too much. Like we want to do the most, but not too much, you know? So that's what I'm doing here. And then I have to comb those hairs on out. Then I'm taking my scissors and I'm just basically shaving these hairs off, and I like to keep them the length of my eyebrows basically. But yeah, just cutting these hairs off right now. To really make the baby hairs look fluffy and natural, you want to take a 1/2 inch curling iron, and this is the Kiss Pro 1/2 inch pencil flat iron, and I'm curling them upwards. Usually I curl my sideburns like under, but this time I curled them over just because I was like, let me do something different, like let me just do this, why not? So that's what I did, and I'm not too mad at the outcome. Like they looked really good all together. But yeah, I'm just curling these baby hairs, getting them nice and tight. You want to hold it and then release it just like that. And I use some Icy Fantasia holding spritz for my baby hairs. And yeah, y'all, they don't be doing it for me, for real. Like sometimes it works for me, sometimes it doesn't. So you guys will see here in a second, after I'm in the process of doing them and trying to mold them, I take some Nairobi holding foam to help mold them down even better. But yeah, when it comes to my baby hairs, I really just try to swoop it, like as you guys can see, and I use my finger to help mold it at the same time. And I'm really just taking like C strokes. Like imagine a ocean wave, you know, like a wave in the ocean. You just want to make that, and you know, just keep that going until you get it like perfect in your eyes. You know, it's a trial and error process. Like I said, I didn't edit too much of this out, so you guys are really seeing the whole process. It's so funny to me how every time I do my baby hairs, I do them differently, like every time. But right here, I'm taking some Got To Be Glue gel in the black bottle. I took a little bit of that on the sides where I'm swooping right now to help mold it a little bit further, because I did want to swoop these hairs into the lace, as you guys can see. So yeah, I took some actual gel to help with that. To help blow dry them in place, I took this small blow dryer, not blow dryer, this, like, I don't even know. It's for your lashes or whatever you want to use it for, but they're for my lashes for real. But I just took that to help mold that real quick. And then I'm taking my scissors and I'm cutting it a little bit in the front to just make it look a little bit more, you know, so it can hit a little bit better. I don't know why I did that. It just felt right. Like, I can't really tell you why I did that, but it just makes it look better and more put together. But now moving on to my sideburns, I am using the same holding spritz, the IC Fantasia liquid foam spritz or something like that. I don't know, it's linked down below. But yeah, you guys, I realized that wasn't really working for me either, so yeah, I took some of that foam again, boom, right here, to help mold that better how I like it, because it just honestly, like, the foam just helps it since it's wet and like foamy. I mean, the spray's wet too, but the foam is like foamy, so it's easier to use, I'll say, to like form a baby hair in a swoop. At least for these thickness and the dramatic baby hairs I was doing today, it was a better vibe. So that's what I'm doing here, just trying to really get this swooped correctly how I would like it to look. Now the baby hairs are done, finito. I'm taking my tweezers and I'm plucking out some of this plucking that I did, because it just wasn't sitting right with me. Like, it wasn't looking seamless and put together as it was on the other side. And just look how luscious this hair looks and how put together this install is. I cut some more of these hairs off so it can look a little bit more natural. I don't like when they're hanging like by my eyebrow too much. And I'm taking my Ruby Kisses cream foundation. I'm really not sure what shade, but it's one of the two that I've been using today, and this small makeup brush to make the part look more natural and seamless and put together. The part was kind of purple. I think that was because of me bleaching the knots. I think the purple kind of bled through a little bit. I'm not sure, but it was a quick fix with using this cream foundation here, just buffing that on through. Then I'm taking some of my wax stick to help flatten that out. Before I hot comb it, I had to take my tweezers and just pluck some of these hairs away that I swooped, because it just wasn't sitting right with me. So I tweaked it and I fixed it a little bit, and then I'm combing those hairs out that I plucked and then gelling those back down as they were before. I just felt like the hairs on this side could be a little bit more natural looking and softer as they were on the other side. So yeah, that was just a quick little fix there. And now I can take my hot comb, now that that is swooped back down, back to business. But yeah, the wax stick that I'm using is the same wax stick I've been using this whole time, the Carrot wax stick. And yeah, y'all see how flat it is? Like, oh my gosh, and so shiny, like, oh my god. It's always important to take your hot comb really aggressively, nah, not aggressively, but really be firm with it towards the back so it can look seamless all the way around. And I'm taking some of this Nairobi holding foam to help with the overall flatness of this install so it can look really fresh, like we just got our hair done at the salon, but we really did it at the comfort of our own home. So yeah, this is pretty much the end of this tutorial. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you got something from this and learned something from this, and thank you for watching all the way through if you did. Thank you also for all the subscribing you guys are doing. Like, oh my gosh, if only I could hug you all. I love all of you, and make sure to like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys in my next one.